The reason that we're, I'm sure, all here is because we were left with so many questions. Sudden, abrupt, she cashes it in and quits. Is that really how it was?
No, it was a long and deliberative internal process deciding how best will our state progress. Everything changed August 29th in Alaska, the day that I was tapped to run for VP. That was obvious. A new political blood sport came into being in our state. And when I returned from the campaign trail, I'm trying for those months to not allow the distractions to stymie or paralyze our administration, and yet conditions pretty tough in terms of the opposition research that had bombarded Alaska and never let up over all these months. So putting a lot of effort into continuing to set the record straight and answer FOIAs and lawsuits and frivolous ethics charges one after another. That was all quite distracting for Alaska, and understanding that our state was not going to reach her potential and progress, reach her destiny, which is to provide energy independence and security for our nation. We weren't going to get there with the conditions that we're under right now. So deciding, well, the best thing for Alaska is for me not to run again. And having made up my mind to not run again, I said, well, then, do we want to go through in my final year of office, as I enter my final year of office, a lame duck session? And seeing these continued millions of dollars in state resources spent in this political blood sport that some people are choosing to play right now, this game of specifically the ethics violations that have been charged, that we win again. Deciding, no, that's not in Alaska's best interests. So let's be honest with Alaskans, and let's say, instead of playing a game of, hold on till the very last minute and telling people I can't decide if I want to run again or not. No, I did decide I'm not going to run again. I want to go help Alaska in different venues and on a different level. So being honest with Alaskans, saying it's best that we hand the reins over to the Lieutenant Governor, let him progress our good agenda, and get out of the situation that Alaska's in right now.
Well, let me be honest. It wouldn't appear that you would have been a lame duck until you announced you weren't going to run. You could have done that in June after the legislative session.
Nothing was going to change. Nothing was going to change.
In terms of the attacks?
Well, it doesn't cost the critics anything to file frivolous lawsuits or ethics violation charges. It costs our state such a great deal. Thousands of state staff hours, millions of dollars in public resources that aren't going to things that it should be going to, like soldiers' benefits and safer roads and teachers and troopers. Instead, it's going in this land of litigation that some people have chosen to play. So nothing was going to change until I decided, no, I will step aside. I will hand the reins over to Sean Parnell. Let him progress our good, positive agenda for energy independence, national security, reigning in government, fighting for those things that are right. Until I step aside, the conditions won't change in Alaska, and we're not going to be able to get there.
How much of the decision was personal between you and Todd? I've heard that you guys may have been talking about this for months. Is that right?
Spoke to quite a few people over the past months. Of course, family impacts, that was a consideration, but making this decision in that vacuum of what is best for the people whom I serve, the people that I love, and that is Alaskans. It is Alaska. This is what I love, wanting to make sure I'm doing what's right for our state. It just happened to be that it's also right for my family.
Governor, when I first met your dad, the one thing he told me about you was how tough you were. Mm-hmm. And no matter what was coming down the pike, Sarah could handle it. Yeah. Did this prove tougher than you thought?
Now, what has proven tough has been making this decision, because it's a decision that I did not make lightly. It was prayerful consideration before I made the decision, and it's tough to take a tougher road, a less comfortable road. The comfortable road for most politicians is, you just hang in there, kind of go with the flow, and hang, especially through a lame duck session. Yeah, you're not going to get anything done, but hey, you take advantage of it, and you go do what you want to do your final year. Tough has been, no, I'm not going to take that comfortable path. I'm going to take the right path for the state. I'm going to let the state progress. And then I'm going to be able to get out there and help people, help affect change in our state and positive change in our nation. That is my goal, helping to work for other people to do such a thing. And I don't need a title to do that. And they don't need titles either to affect change, but I want to help people who want to fight for the right things.
But Governor, if that is the right road for Alaska,
yeah.
Is it the dangerous road for you to be labeled, in this land of tough people, a quitter?
I'm certainly not a quitter. I'm a fighter, and that's why I'm doing this, to go out there and fight for what is